If I could give any advice to Emily in 2018, girl. Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Emily and today I'm going to be doing a little Q&A focus mostly on business. I know a lot of you guys are really interested in getting to know me a little bit more, and I know a lot of you are also really interested in hearing more about my career story and how I started not only one business but two businesses, and also being a content creator slash influencer on top of those two things. So I asked you guys if you had any specific questions over on Instagram, and I got a lot of questions. I'm going to go through as many as I can, but I thought before I get to those questions, I should kind of share a little bit more of a background story of how I started my career and how I got to basically where I am now. And it's not to say that I'm super successful right now or anything. I am very thankful for the work that I have been able to put in and the opportunities that have come across for me. But I am definitely still in the beginning stages of where I want to be in the future. I really hope that this video can encourage you guys to hopefully get out of your comfort zone a little bit and go for that thing that you have been dreaming about, thinking about, and trying to convince yourself to start. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just start sharing basically a quick little summary of my career story, I guess. So first of all, if you're new to this channel, I have two online shops. One is Rose Dose, which is mostly more seasonal in a way, and I could explain that in another video. And that company I've had for about 4 years. And my second company that I started more recently is Classy Casita, which is also an online shop that I'm currently growing. And I'm also a lifestyle and home decor content creator, or if you prefer the term influencer, then you can say influencer. So yeah, those are the three main things under my umbrella. And I'm of course trying to grow this YouTube channel as well. And there's always something new that I'm trying to do. That's kind of what I want to emphasize here. I am an entrepreneur. I want to do more entrepreneurship things. I want to get into investing more. I want to do a lot of things. So yeah, that's a little background on that. So let's start where you would think that everything starts, right? Is college. I studied hospitality and tourism management. I love the hospitality industry. I knew that what I wanted to focus on was event planning, and so that's the path that I was starting to take. After college, I got a full-time job right away. I started working in the industry as a catering manager, which wasn't what I really wanted to do, but it was still a long event and it was still a good paying job right out of college. And after being the assistant for 1 year and then the main manager for the following year, and I just didn't want to work there anymore. It got to the point where, which I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate to, like the point where you were waking up dreading the fact that you had to go into the specific workplace. And it was just not making me happy at all. And I didn't see myself growing within the company or anything. So besides having that job, I was also working on my little side stuff. So as some of you may know, I used to be in a long-term relationship. I'm no longer in that relationship, but when I was, me and that partner shared a lot of the same values when it came to career. We were very career focused, self-starters. We loved a lot of things about business, and we would watch Shark Tank and a bunch of other business shows and just always be thinking about cool ideas and stuff like that. And it came to the point where my partner wanted to start his own business. And because we lived together, I was there from the very beginning. We basically created a brand together. We were teaching ourselves all about how to start our own shop online. I learned how to take product photography, learned how to edit, do advertising, do marketing, do basically everything. We did everything. And then quickly I realized that I really loved it. I loved brand development, marketing, everything. So quickly I learned that I loved it. Okay, so now let's go back to how I was looking for a new job. It was still the beginning stages of this company, and so far it was doing well. It was looking promising. And it was obviously a very, very busy time in our life. So basically what we decided to do, I would just quit my job. And while I look for another job, I will be focusing a lot on the new business. So that's what I did, and the rest is history. That brand grew tremendously. It was super successful. It still is to this day. And since it was doing so well, and I could see how much I loved it, how much I was actually good at it, doing brand development and all this stuff, I really wanted to have something of my own. And so I really wanted to start my own brand. And so we decided to go in together as a partnership and create Rose Dose. I wanted to have a company that could then complement the other one and vice versa, so we can have a lot of the same clientele, kind of set each other up for success. And so that's how Rose Dose started. So fast forward to a couple of years later, and Rose Dose is doing great. I'm moved into a new apartment. I start getting into new hobbies like plants and home decor, and I decided to start my Instagram page, Clasicasita. Being the entrepreneur that I am, right off the bat, I knew that this page would potentially be monetized, and I would hopefully start a brand from it as well. And obviously in the beginning, like, you know how it starts. My aesthetic is not what it looks like today at all, but that is the mentality that I had when starting this Instagram page. So as I grew my Instagram page and I started growing this community of not only home decor lovers, but plant lovers, I was able to see where my niche was, basically. And what I did a lot in the beginning was share plant tips, because I started to really get into plants, and I was sharing everything as I learned things, and it's just really been something that has made me happy. So it was a great outlet for me. And quickly I can see what my first product would be, which is my moisture meter. The reason why I thought about a moisture meter as my first product was because this is an item that I was constantly using. It is seriously what helped me become a good plant parent. So I was always advising people to use one. And so I thought, why not market one myself, sell it on Amazon, sell it on my page. It could be the main product to jumpstart this new shop. So that's basically how it started. But eventually I want Clasicasita to have not only other plant care products, but home decor products and stationery and a bunch of other stuff. I just want it to be a shop full of things that I love, and that's what I've been really focused on lately, is growing this shop. And along with starting that shop and growing it from my Clasicasita Instagram page, I've been lucky enough to be able to monetize my Instagram and work with brands on sponsorships and all that stuff. So it's been really, really fun. I love it, and I'm super thankful for all of the opportunities. So I hope that this kind of clears up a little bit in case you weren't really sure how I started or anything like that. Of course, there's so much, so much in between those years that I just shared about, but that's what the questions are for. And maybe later I'll share more, but I'm gonna try to share as much as I can. I've been talking a lot already. Okay, so we can move on to some questions now. Let's see what you guys had to ask on Instagram. Okay, so this one, any business tip, please? I'm just starting mine. I wish I knew what kind of business it was, but I guess no matter what the business is, I'll just say a simple answer. But my main business tip is to research. Look online for everything, because everything that you need to know is seriously online. You just need to dig for it. And definitely spend the time to learn. There's always something new to learn. There's always a new podcast that you can listen to. There's always a new YouTube video that's going to teach you the next best thing, the new marketing secret, the new software that you should be using, everything. Things are moving like this. Don't sleep on it, and always try to be up to date and know what's going on, because we just need to be on top of it. So hopefully that helps answer your question a little bit. Okay, this question is, what gave you the idea to start your business? How did you feel filming your first YouTube video? So my idea, let's say, to start Clasicasita, the shop, like have my first product, was because I loved plants. Brand development is seriously a passion of mine. And I was able to see that although there are already moisture meters out there, there was still a big community, the houseplant community, that didn't know about this product. And I saw it as my way to jump into it and get it started and introduce it to the houseplant community in a nicer, more appealing way. That's why I wanted to start it. And how did I feel filming my first YouTube video? Honestly, filming my first YouTube video, I started when I was living in San Jose, when I was still in my relationship. And at first I was really nervous because I personally don't like filming when there's people around, and most of the time, like, I just wouldn't film because my partner would be around or something. I just always felt embarrassed, but obviously I'm getting better at it. I'm hoping to not be too nervous around people anymore and start filming freely and stuff. But I grew up watching YouTube and I always loved it. I would always pretend that I was making my own YouTube videos and stuff. So in a way, it also kind of felt natural, kind of. So yeah. All right, next question. How do you get your creative juices going? I love that. Well, I feel like my creative juices now are just always going, but in the beginning, it was definitely watching Shark Tank, watching The Profit, a bunch of YouTube videos about business and like the way entrepreneurs have grown these multi-million-dollar companies. And it's just something that made me super excited. It just, I don't know, it made me feel like I was learning so much more from all these videos and shows compared to what I was learning in school, really. And I just liked it. I like being surrounded by those type of people. So yeah, that's easily the best way to get your creative juices flowing. I still do that to this day, but now that I'm busier and I'm constantly working on, if not the shops, then my content creating stuff. And since I'm always online, like staying up to date, it kind of just is in my brain now. I'm just always thinking like, oh, that's a great idea, or like things like that. So yeah, I highly recommend, if you want to get more into this type of like mentality, start being aware of what you're watching and what you're listening to, because that's gonna play a big role. Okay, so next question. If you could give any advice to Emily from 2018, what would it be? 2018, what was I doing in 2018? Ooh! If I could give any advice to Emily in 2018, girl, there's a lot of advice that I would give, but since we're sticking to business related, I would say focus on your career now. Focus on growing yourself now. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it to there. Keep growing yourself right now. Yeah, that's all I was gonna say. Next question. How did you get noticed by World Market? Okay, so World Market, the reason why I have this question is because I worked with World Market on a sponsorship, and the way I got noticed was simply just because of my Instagram page. They reached out to me via email to be a part of a campaign that they were running over on Instagram. So yeah, that's how I got noticed, because of my Classy Casita page. Okay, next question. What helps you stay motivated for working at home? I've been basically working from home, I think since the age of 22, when starting the companies and stuff. So it was definitely hard in the beginning. It was an adjustment, but now I can't even remember like not working for myself. But the way that I stay motivated has always been being a morning person. I know a lot of people aren't morning people, but this is what I like to do. I'm not saying that this is the right way to do it, because I know a lot of people are not morning people. So I think that being active in the morning will really set you up to have a good day. I think that it's just really important to start your day off with the right mentality. And if your first thing is waking up and being active and just like releasing like stress, or not even thinking about anything the moment you wake up, it's just like get a workout done and then like eat something great because I'm starving after, like I think that's really important. So yeah, just having a good morning routine really helps keep me motivated. And then something not like really routine related, what also helps me stay motivated has seriously been comments and messages from you guys, the viewers, and other people on my Instagram. A lot of content creators talk about how like the internet is so negative and people are so mean. And yes, I know like people can be mean, people can be rude. and all that stuff. But I feel like the community that I'm a part of, there's hardly like any mean people. Everybody has been super sweet, motivating, and that is seriously what like helps me like keep wanting to do what I'm doing, is getting that feedback, that positive feedback from all of you guys. So yeah, that is how I stay motivated for sure. Okay, next question. How did you grow a business in terms of advertising and growing your popularity? Well, I started the Classy Casita Instagram page first, and then I made the product. And I'm not saying that you necessarily have to have a following before you start a business. Definitely not. Like Rose Dose, I had the company first, and then I had the Instagram page and grew the following, you know? So you definitely don't need to have like a huge Instagram following or YouTube following before having your business, but it really helps. So definitely, if it weren't for growing my Instagram page before having my first product, it would have been different. Like, I have a lot to thank you guys for being super supportive from the beginning, because having that outlet really has helped me in advertising. That in a way, like I was able to advertise on my own, and then obviously I advertise on Amazon, which is a whole other story. And I also have a video on how I grew my Instagram page with tips and stuff, if that's what you're interested in. And I'll also go ahead and have those business videos down below. Okay, next question. How did you get started and how do you prioritize your day? Okay, so I already shared how I got started, and how do I prioritize my day? So I kind of have like deadlines for myself every week. For example, I upload a new video on Friday, so I know that I need to film and edit no later than Thursday. So I try to like just have a good schedule like that. So for example, when it comes to videos, I know that it needs to be done. So I will like dedicate a day, like a big chunk of the day is going to be for this. Things like that. If I'm working with a brand, then obviously I have a deadline, so I really need to prioritize that. But when it comes to just like day-to-day things that I need to do, then that kind of just goes in a to-do list on my planner. Whoops. Like on my planner, I'm like dropping sticky notes. But for example, I have a list of things that have to be done, and I just check off what gets done. Whatever doesn't get done, I'll literally put an arrow down and I'll move it on to the next day. And then whenever I see that there's something that keeps being added to the next day, I like make sure, okay, it's time to do this. If it's very important, I'll probably have like a sticky note and mark it on that day. Like, I don't know, I kind of just like, in the back of my head, I know like the most important things that need to get done, like that is going to be what I do. I just try to get as much done as I can in the beginning of the week. That way, towards the end of the week, I can have time to either film a video or edit those videos or something like that, because editing also takes a long time. So yeah, when it comes to like editing a video, that takes a long time, but it's also like a time that I literally am just sitting on my computer and not doing anything else. Like, I don't like to do anything else when I edit a video. I just like try to get it done in one run, and depending on the video, it can like take a long time, really. So like for editing a video, I like to do it in the evening, so that way I feel like it's not taking too much time out of my day, because during the day I can be doing so many other things, you know? So yeah, I don't know, I hope that answers the question. That one's a little tricky for me, honestly. Okay, next question. How did you gain confidence? What are the big steps? Ooh, confidence. That one, honestly, I don't even know like how I gained confidence, because I have been super shy since I was little. I still feel like I can be pretty shy when it comes to like meeting new people, stuff like that. It's obviously a little bit easier now. I feel a difference now, like talking to the camera compared to like my first videos. Like if you see my first videos, like completely different. Like, I don't know, I kind of feel like the way I gained this confidence was to just put myself out there. If it weren't for me making my Instagram page, showing my face on there, really getting myself out there, like if it weren't for that, I feel like I would still be stuck in my super shy phase, which is never fun, you know, like you can only grow so much. I feel like if you really want to be successful, you need to put yourself out there. So it's just about pushing yourself to let yourself be a little bit uncomfortable. I know for me, like I loved seeing all these people on YouTube. I love seeing all these influencers. And when you really think about it, like all of these people put themselves out there. They aren't afraid of what people are going to say. Like I'm sure all of us have gone through the bullied stages and caring about what other people have to say about you, and you're like in school and stuff. And like now it doesn't matter, especially now that we're all in quarantine. Like everybody's focused, at least I hope everybody's more focused on their own life and not caring so much about what other people are doing with their own life. I just feel like you just need to do whatever makes you happy and stop caring about what people are going to say. Like that is seriously something new. Like to me, like I've always been so afraid of what people have to say and things like that. Like things are changing. You need to do what makes you happy. I feel like I've gone through a lot in my life where I'm not gonna care anymore of like making things perfect for other people. I feel like as long as you're doing things that make you happy, people are going to see that. They're gonna see your happiness, and even if you're not that confident, to them it's gonna show off like you're being confident, really, because you're just so comfortable with what you're doing, with what's making you happy. So I hope that answers your question. I just started not caring much about what other people have to say, and yeah, I'm just trying to do whatever I know will make me happy and basically do the steps that I need to do in order to be successful. So yeah, that is my advice for confidence. Okay, next question. Where can I start with planning my small business? It's overwhelming. So I'm wondering, do you already have a business idea? Or are you basically like thinking about some ideas? So let's say you already have some ideas. I'm guessing it's all gonna be online. I would try to think about what scale you're working with. If you're starting very small, maybe just having an Etsy shop for now would be a great idea, especially if it's something that's more like on the artsy side, like maybe you're making jewelry, maybe you're making macrame. A lot of those type of small businesses are great for Etsy. So I would say definitely start with like maybe selling on Etsy, but if it's a little bit of a larger scale, I would definitely consider starting your online shop. So I use Shopify.com, that's my web host, but there's so many different ones. Those are two ideas. I love using Shopify, but I know that Etsy is a great website to sell when it comes to like handmade products and small scale. Okay, next question. Does having a business degree help in starting a business? Perhaps it does help. Like maybe the people who do have a business degree would say that it was very helpful to them when starting their own business. But as somebody who doesn't have a business degree, I would say it wasn't really necessary. I learned so much more online than I did in college. Like to this day, I think about things that I learned in college. Sure, a lot of it like was helpful, but a lot of things also don't stick. I feel like unless you're living and breathing it, it's not really going to resonate with you or stick to you. Just starting your business and teaching yourself, I think, is the best way to really get that information and seriously learn it, you know? Yeah, and a lot of things change. For example, if I learned some business stuff in college, who knows if I could even apply it that much to how things are now. Like things are constantly changing. So that's why it's really important to stay up to date. Watch these successful people speaking on YouTube, on podcasts. There's always something new. They're always sharing their successes and they're giving tips about what's new and things like that. And sharing their life experiences. Why not learn from those actual like millionaires who have become so successful? They literally have their own books. They have their own podcasts. their own YouTube channels. I feel like you could learn way more from them than you can from the textbook, you know? And yeah, that's all I gotta say from that. Okay, next question. Do you have to have some sort of financing before starting your own business? Yes, so definitely you should have some money saved up, or you can get a loan to help you get started. The way I started Classy Casita, although I did have my other company, I didn't want to commingle like my Rose Dos money with my Classy Casita money. So luckily, because I have a very loving brother who was very kind enough to help me out with my first very small shipment of product. So basically he loaned me the money with no interest, which is great in comparison to like getting a loan from a bank. So yeah, he loaned me the money, and by selling the product, I was basically able to pay him back. So yeah, the small amount that he was able to loan me in the beginning has definitely already grown into the income that I needed to pay him back. So yeah, my advice would be, if you have some money saved up, or if you're able to get a small loan, whether that's from family or a bank, I would start off very, very small. For example, if you're getting something made, make sure that you are not putting in too much money for like tens of thousands of units of something in case it doesn't work out. When you can start off with a smaller amount of units to test it out, see how it goes, and then with the money that you make from that, you could invest it into more inventory, and then it just keeps on growing, and then you'll be able to afford even more inventory. And yeah, honestly, when it comes to finances, like it's not my favorite, but obviously since I'm basically running a one-woman show here, I have to do it. I'm my own accountant, I'm my own marketer and designer and all that stuff. And yeah, it could be tough, but that's why you have to think smart in the very beginning, because it can be very, very risky. But in the end, obviously, you can't succeed unless you take those risks. But yeah, if you guys have more questions about like financial stuff, let me know. Maybe I'll make a video. It's not my favorite thing to discuss because I feel like I'm more on like the creative side. I'm not really a numbers person, but of course it's all part of being a business owner. So I don't mind sharing a little bit more if you guys want to hear more about that. Okay, so I had some other questions, but they're kind of repetitive and or not business related. So I think I'm gonna stop there. I really hope that this helped you guys out a little bit. And if you want to see more of these type of business related videos, then let me know. I definitely want to keep doing them. I hope that I was able to answer a few questions that you guys might have had. And also, quick question, because like I mentioned to you guys, I love product development, brand development, creating your own personal brand. And I get a lot of messages from you guys like about how you want to get started and if I have any advice. And obviously it's hard to like message everything like in an Instagram message or something, because obviously I can't share everything in a message. And since I love talking about this stuff, I'm wondering if you guys would be interested if I offered some sort of service on my websites where we can actually have like FaceTime calls or just like a normal call and discuss you getting started with your own personal brand, or whether that's a small company. Basically like being your mentor in a way, because I feel like I always have ideas and I want to obviously like help you guys get started. So let me know if you guys would be interested in something like that if I offer like a service on my website. I'm thinking like it can be like a one-on-one thing, but I'm thinking like as that grows, maybe it could then become like a little community where everybody helps each other out and just talks about business. I think that would be really fun. It's something that I've been thinking about for a while. So let me know your thoughts. And yeah, I think that's it. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts down below. And if you guys want to stay up to date with me, then you can follow me on Instagram at Classy Casita, and I will have my websites down below as well. And I think that's it. But yeah, thank you guys again. I appreciate you and I'm rooting for you, and I hope to see you next time.